Okay, welcome. We're gonna start off laying on our backs. Begin with your knees bent to allow that triangular bone at the base of your spine to settle. Actually, I'm gonna, and then if it feels good to extend the legs out, you can do that. If that causes any discomfort, just keep your knees bent, take your feet a little bit wide and let them fall together. Bring the awareness to the breath and notice the quality of the breath in this moment. Notice if the chest feels tight or open, if the breath is short or long, if the inhales or exhales bear more weight. And then begin to consciously deepen your breath, bringing the awareness to the diaphragm. And as you inhale, feel it expand downward. As you exhale, soften back and spread wide across the floor. And observe the breath first, vertically, stretching down and also all the way up into the top of the shoulders, neck, face. And as you exhale, sinking into the support of the ground beneath you, connecting to that universal blueprint for optimal alignment. Bones and joints stack in the back body plane. And then we'll do a quick scan through your physical body from the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. Inhale and draw the awareness up through the legs, into the pelvis, the hips, the low back. Notice any areas of tension, soreness, general discomfort. And as you inhale deeply, breathe into those places. Gently open and expand with the in-breath. And as you exhale, completely allow some tension to leave the body with the breath. Next inhale pulls the awareness up the torso, into the shoulders, the neck, and the face. Again, just observing where in the upper body you're holding tension today, and using the breath to go there. Inhale, create space, invite fresh oxygen and blood to flow through those areas. Exhale completely, continuing the conversation of consciously asking the body to soften, release, and let go. Lastly, check in with your mind. Notice where the thoughts are at. Observe the speed at which they move through you. Allow yourself to take a big step back from identifying as the thoughts and begin to witness their passing through the mind like clouds through the sky, without getting attached or carried away, without judging ourselves for what we're thinking about. but beginning to notice the habits and patterns in the way the mind turns. And then bring the awareness back and anchor it fully on your breath. Have a few more of those deep, long breaths that expand the torso in all directions like a balloon. And as you exhale, allowing the whole front body to settle towards the back body, to spread wide across the floor. And when you are ready, you can draw the knees into the chest, rock gently from side to side, massage the low back. With an exhale, roll to the right side body. Press down with the palms to lift up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment. Look for that same alignment that we created, laying on our backs. So making sure that the pelvis is in a neutral position where both sits bones can ground down evenly. If the pelvis is tilted back, sit up on a little cushion, a blanket, a block, so that you can get both sits bones grounding down evenly, tailbone rooting down between them. It is from the grounding action in the lower body that we can inhale, lift, and lengthen through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. Roll the shoulders together down and into the back body. And then slide the jawbone back. We're looking to stack the vertebrae like we are aligning an antenna. So all of the work that we do in aligning the physical body is actually so we can connect energetically to the universe. And then so we can channel that energy through our bodies and direct it towards creating our lives, our relationships, community, reality that we want to live in. And so the crown of the head is the place from which we connect to the universe. It has to do with the big picture, collective consciousness, this idea of oneness that we're always talking about in yoga. And you know, there's so many ways in which this idea of oneness can be used to spiritually bypass, right? To be like, we're all one. Like, I don't know what everyone's problem is. I don't know what they're complaining about. And yes, the yoga practice teaches us that when we align our energy and refine our awareness, we tap into our connection to all things. But that in and of itself, for me, isn't the end all be all and isn't enough. It's about taking that awareness of how we're all connected and channeling it back down through the body to take concrete action in your life to reflect our interconnectedness, the like love and awe and adoration that we have for the incredible complexity and beauty of the world around us. With everything that's going on with the coronavirus, though, I do think that a lot more people are showing up for a daily yoga practice or a daily meditation practice. And this collective consciousness, this collective turning inward, this collective looking at and recognizing our interconnectedness has ripple effects that expand out through our communities and the world. So I'm really hoping that with all this extra time, we can connect more deeply to the ways in which we are in oneness. I have to turn John's alarm off. John, your alarm's going off for the class is happening. Ah, yes. Okay. So the yoga practice allows us to experience oneness when we are in our bodies with our breath, and we become single pointed in our focus, and we cannot, we're just like in the moment. It happens sometimes when we're singing, sometimes when we're dancing. We can have it through spending time in nature, through having sex, but being really fully, completely present in what you're doing to such an extent that you merge with the energy of the universe, remembering the like joy of being human. So that's what we're looking for as we practice today. With an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale through the mouth with sound, let go. Do that one more time. Inhale deeply, stretching past the skin and fingertips. And exhale completely. And then we will inhale to prepare for the sound of Om. And we're gonna do what we did the other day. We're gonna just Om and Om and Om and Om for a few minutes, trying to really lose ourselves in the sound and find that like present moment oneness. So we'll inhale deeply to prepare. So pausing to observe the vibrations resonate through the body, particularly making note of where things get constricted and stuck. And we'll do a pranayama to further this clearing out of the body energetically. So you're going to cross your right shin in front of your left shin, in close to the knees. Weight of the top shin is breaking up the hardness in the bottom calf. Feet begin to poke out in like the center of the calves and move towards turning up. Interlace the hands on the top of the head. Allow the weight of the hands to give you an awareness to lift up into. Draw the elbows and the armpits back and down. And with an inhale, inhale to prepare for Kapalabhati. So a series of short, sharp exhales through the nose, made by this action of pumping the abdomen in and up. So we'll inhale deeply through the nose, exhale completely through the nose. Inhale to prepare, and good. Return to your normal breath. Feeling the effects of that pranayama on the energy in your body. And then inhale, stretch the palms up. Drop the chin down to the chest. And feel how that gives you leverage to draw the abdomen in and up, to tuck the low ribs down. And stretch through the palms to stretch the muscles between the back ribs. Keep all of that as you inhale and lift the gaze. Pull the pinky fingers and the thumbs down towards your face. Feel the shoulders come down away from the ears. Neutralize the head and gaze for 3 more breaths. Each inhale draws the energy in and up from the floor to the core. The abdomen hugs in, the elbows hug in. Each exhale softens the skin down around the bones. The shoulders and the hips settle towards the floor. With an exhale, release and twist to the right. Ground your right fingertips behind you. Press the left hand and the right knee together. They answer one another in call and response. From the base of the spine, lift straight up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, deepen your twist. Pressing out through the palms gives you that leverage to roll the shoulder blades together down and into the back body. And then feel what you're doing in your neck and notice your tendencies. If we bring our chin in line with our sternum, slide the jawbone back, lift through the tips of the ears, and then shift the gaze behind you. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an exhale, release. Switch out the crossing of your legs in close to the knees, left shin in front of the right now. The weight of the top leg is massaging, breaking up the hardness in the bottom calf. Switch out the crossing of your fingers and bring your hands back onto your head. Elbows and armpits draw back and down. With 1 more round of Kapalabhati. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale completely. Inhale to prepare. Good. And return to your normal breath. Feeling the energetic effects of that pranayama on the energy in your body. And then inhale and stretch your palms up again. Drop the chin to the chest. Cinch the low ribs and the hip bones towards each other, which draws the abdomen back towards the spine. And as you reach through the palms, feel the intercostal muscles between the ribs stretching. Keep all of that effort, alignment as you inhale and gaze up. Pull the pinky fingers and the thumbs down towards your face. And feel the shoulders come away from the ears because they are attached to the hands through the bones of the arms. Neutralize your head and gaze for 3 more breaths. Each inhale drawing in and up from the floor to the core to the crown. And each exhale, finding that softness, the skin, the shoulders, the hips settling towards the floor. With your next exhale, release and twist to the left. Ground the left fingertips behind you. Right hand and left knee press into each other. This activates the foundation of the pose. We want to make sure that both sits bones are grounded down evenly so we can lift the spine straight up. As you exhale, deepen your twist. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulder blades together down and into the back body. Check back in with the alignment in the neck and head. Chin in line with the sternum. Slide the jawbone back. Lift the tips of the ears. And then shift the gaze behind you. 3 breaths. With an exhale, release. Come onto your hands and knees. Spread the fingers wide. Ground the knees under the hips. Inhale, drop the abdomen, arch the back, gaze up. Exhale, press down and curl the spine to the ceiling. Continue at your own pace. Sync the motions of the body with the breath. Use the breath to deepen the motions of the body and observe how that brings you into the present moment. The place from which we take actions, make changes, do shit. Bring your awareness into the spine and notice any areas of the spine that are hypermobile and tend to crunch, as well as any areas that are tight and stuck and move in chunks. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Try to make length and space through each vertebrae to create uniform curve and fluidity of motion in the spine as you work. And when you are ready, with an exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips high, press back, downward facing dog. So you're looking to make that V shape with your body. The hands are grounded evenly, the feet are grounded evenly, as wide as the hips. The outer edge of the feet turn parallel with the outer edge of the mat. And if your hips are tight and your low back is rounded, take a bend in the knees right over the ankles. And everybody, you inhale, lift the hips high. Lift the abdomen towards the spine. And then press the thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Let your head hang heavy. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. So we do this work of lifting the thigh bones and pressing them back to lengthen and create space in the lower back. That shape and space in the lower back is then reflected in the neck. Inhale back to center, to plank pose. With the hips at the height of the shoulders, then root the tailbone down. Lift the abdomen towards the spine to stack the vertebrae. Lift the back of the ribs to meet the shoulder blades so that you can roll the shoulders down the back and extend the crown of the head forward. 1 One more big breath here. And exhale, lower the knees, the chest, the chin to the floor. Press the tops of the feet down. And inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Everything on the ground is pressing firmly down into the ground so that you can lift the heart and crown. Noticing again what's happening in the neck. Often we crunch into one part of our neck and we need to drop the chin down a little bit, slide the jawbone back. Create that uniform curve from tailbone to crown. With your next exhale, seat to heels, come into child's pose. Allow the weight of the hips to settle energetically towards the heels. So even if the hips aren't touching the heels, there's this grounding action and energy in the pelvis that gives us the leverage to inhale and walk the fingertips forward. Breathe, lengthen space into each vertebrae. Exhale, soften more deeply into the stretch. With your next inhale, lift the abdomen and walk the hands to the right. Placing the abdomen onto the right thigh, widen the left hip to the left. Stretch both side bodies and sides of the neck long. Have 3 deep, long breaths. And with an inhale, return to center and exhale. Inhale, then lift the abdomen and walk the hands to the right, placing the abdomen on the right thigh as you widen walk the hands to the left. Place the abdomen on the left thigh as you widen the right hip to the right. Stretch both side bodies and sides of the neck long. 3 deep, long breaths. And inhale, return to center. Exhale, pause. Inhale, rise, hands and knees, arch the back, gaze up. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips high. Press back, downward facing dog. So remembering that if your hips are tight and rounded, we want to bend the knees slightly to get the leverage to lift the booty high. We draw the abdomen back towards the spine so the bones of the spine stack. The first direction of the pose is up and then back. Thigh bones go up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. And it takes some pressure off the hands, allows the shoulders to open. Let the crown of the head hang heavy. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And then with an inhale, begin to walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Coming into a standing forward fold. Feel free to bend the knees, abdomen come towards the thighs if that feels good to you. The goal is to release the tension from the back, the shoulders, and the neck, and let it all extend and drain out through the crown of the head. You can grab opposite elbows and sway from side to side if that feels good to you. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Seeing what you can let go of. How you can get out of your own way a little bit. With an inhale, return to center. And exhale, release the arms down. The next inhale, begin to curl up. Pelvis spins around the femur bones, vertebrae stack, head and shoulders are the last things to rise. Good. And then getting connected to the alignment, that stacking of the bones and joints from the ground up. Outer edge of the feet turn parallel with outer edge of the mat, which is rotating the thigh bone into the hip socket all the way up the leg. Sticking your booty out behind you a little bit. Center of the hips come over the knees and ankles. With the thigh bones back like that. Center of the buttocks into the midline. Rooting the tailbone down to lift the frontal hip bones. Getting so grounded in the legs and compacted at the core, giving you that leverage to lift through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. Roll the palms to face forward to roll the shoulders back. And just pause for a moment, looking for that lightness that comes when everything is in alignment. And then with an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Continuing to root down through the tailbone to lift through the fingertips, drawing the biceps back, slide the jawbone back. You're in your handstand pose. Have 5 breaths. Scan the body from the ground up, and any place that feels compressed, that is a sign to play around with it and make adjustments. Pressing down to lift up. Once you've had 5 breaths, exhale, fold forward over the legs. Feel free to bend the knees if you need to touch the floor here. And then as you inhale, lift the abdomen, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. We're pressing down with the fingertips to roll the shoulders back. As you exhale, fold more deeply into the legs. Continuing to press down with the fingertips to keep the shoulders lifted away from the ears. The crown of the head extends towards the floor. If you want to play with straightening the legs, we're going to do it from the back of the knees, lifting up, and the back of the knees pressing down. We're going to pulsate like this a few more times. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Lifting the abdomen towards the spine, roll the shoulders down the back, extend the tailbone and the crown in opposite directions. And then exhale, fold more deeply, pressing the fingertips down to keep the shoulders lifted. Extend through the back of the neck. Do that 3 more times on your own, exploring these actions that create space in the spine, particularly the lifting of the shoulders. And then inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, step the left leg back. Come into a lunge on the right side. It is always an option to lower your back knee down for support, but either way, we want to stack the front knee over the ankle, and you can keep your fingertips on the floor here, or you can, well, we'll keep the fingertips on the floor for the moment. Draw your legs energetically towards each other, like scissoring them together to engage those muscles in the inner groin. Begin to lift the abdomen from the pelvic floor. So the abdomen draws back to the spine. The hips stay facing forward. You can work with your back knee bent or straight. But with an inhale, lift the arms and stretch one long line of energy through your body. So your abdomen is almost on your thigh, and then it's pulling towards the back body plane. We're extending through the back body. Have 3 breaths. And with an exhale, release. Inhale, step the back foot forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold deeply into the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, get length again. Exhale, right leg back this time. Stack that front knee right over the front ankle. Bones and joints support you. Feel free to lower your back knee down if you would like for some support. Either way, hugging the legs like scissors towards each other. Feeling how that lifts the back thigh bone, lifts the pelvic floor and abdomen. Extend from the tailbone through the back knee or heel. And then with an inhale, lift the abdomen towards the spine and stretch long through the back body plane. 3 more deep, long breaths. And exhale, release. Inhale, step the back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Checking back in with your tendencies and your foundation. Make sure the feet are grounded evenly. Outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. Stack those bones and joints, thigh bones back, buttocks into the midline. Low ribs down and back. Turn the biceps forward, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lift the arms up and overhead. And now we're gonna twist. So there's equal and opposite movements in the body that stabilize it. We're gonna widen the left inner thigh to the left as we turn the torso to the right. So the hips stay facing forward. The twist happens at the core. We're lifting through the fingertips and the crown of the head. Roll the shoulders down the back. Have 1 more breath. And inhale back to center. Making sure the thigh bones are back, the tailbone is grounded. Widen the right inner thigh to the right, providing that equal and opposite force that stabilizes the body so that you can turn around the central axis. Keep pressing from the pelvis through the 4 corners of both feet to lift the abdomen, the fingertips, the crown of the head, and deepen the twist. Have 1 more big breath. Return to center with an inhale. And again, exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, the left leg back again. Coming into a lunge on the right side. Always an option to lower the back knee down here or to work with the legs straight. We're doing all of the same actions, hugging the legs together, extending from the tailbone through the heel and from the tailbone through the crown. Inhale, lift the arms, stretch the body long, then ground the left hand, widen that left hip to the left and lift the right arm up for a twist. So same thing we just did, that opposite thigh bone stabilizing the pelvis. Abdomen drawn back towards the spine. Press through the palms to roll the shoulders together down and into the back body. And with your next exhale, release. Inhale, step the back foot forward. And exhale, fold more deeply. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, the right leg back this time. Stack that front knee over the ankle, even if you want to lower the back knee down. Hug your legs towards each other. Energetically, you can do this with the back knee down as well. Drawing energy in and up from the floor to the core and then extending out from the back heel through the crown of the head. Inhale, stretch the body long before you twist. Lower the right arm down. Widen that right thigh to the right. Inhale, lift the left arm up for a twist. So the hips are facing forward. The twist is happening at the core. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulders together down and into the back body. Don't let this top arm float away behind you. It's right above the face. Have one more breath. And exhale, release. Inhale, step the back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. Checking back in with the alignment again. The next shape that we're gonna come into is our chair pose. You can come into chair pose with your feet together. Oops, that's not together, together. Or your feet apart. But as wide as your feet are apart, your knees bend in line with your ankles. It's okay for them to go past your ankles in this pose, but not to go feet out, knees in, right? So with an inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, sit back behind yourself. Sticking your booty up, thigh bones back gets you low. Draw the center of the buttocks into the midline to lift the frontal hip bones, to lift the whole torso away from the pelvic bowl, stretching through the crown of the head, through the fingertips. Roll the shoulders down the back and tuck the low ribs down and back. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. With an inhale, rise, and exhale, release. Hands on the hips. Step your left leg back. We're working with both legs straight here. And the back foot is slightly turned out so the heel can ground down. The legs, again, they hug towards each other energetically. Inner rotating the back thigh, bringing the hips to face forward. Lift and spread your toes. Feel the muscles hug into the bones. Ground down through the 4 corners of both feet. And keep those muscles engaged, hugging into the bones. We're gonna keep the hands on the hips, root the tailbone down to lift the abdomen, the heart, the crown. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips. Going only as far as you can go today without losing that alignment in the spine. So the hips facing forward, pressing the thigh bones back to lengthen the lower back. Abdomen stays drawn back towards the spine. Roll the shoulders back, crown of the head extends forward. You can keep your hands on your hips, you can interlace them behind your back, or you can touch the floor if that feels better to you. 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an exhale, release the hands down to the mat if they're not there already. We're gonna take a slight bend in the front knee, scoot the fingertips out in front of you. As you inhale, lift the back leg. Moving towards straightening the front leg. Standing split. Lift from the inner thigh and the center of the heel on the back leg. Press through both heels. Standing thigh bone back. Inhale, lift the abdomen, get length. Exhale, fold more deeply into that straight front leg. 3 breaths. And exhale, release. Standing forward, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. Checking back in with your alignment. Hands on the hips. Step the right leg back. So that back heel turns in to ground down. And then we're energetically pulling the legs towards each other to bring the hips to face forward. Lift and spread your toes, stretch them out, ground them down. Root the tailbone down. Inhale, lift the abdomen, the heart, the crown. Keep the abdomen drawn back towards the spine. As you exhale, begin to hinge at the hips. Thigh bones pressing back to lengthen the lower back. Keeping that balance and evenness in the pelvis. Abdomen draws back to stack the vertebrae. Roll the shoulders back, extend through the crown of the head. And have 3 more deep long breaths, whatever variation in the arms you took on the other side. And then with that third exhale, release the hands down. Slight bend in the front knee as you shift the weight and come to stand on that left leg, lifting the right leg high behind you. Lift from the inner thigh in the center of the heel, the toes flexed and active, pointing down. Press out through both heels. Left thigh bone back, stack the hip over the knee and ankle. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, fold more deeply into that straight front leg. 3 breaths. And with an exhale, release. Standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Come to stand. Exhale, release the arms. Down by your sides. Good. Take the feet wide. Turn the outer edge of the feet parallel, the outer edge of the mat. Turn the left foot in slightly and the right foot out all the way. Good. Same actions to engage the muscles of the legs. Lift and spread your toes. Stretch them out, ground them down. Make sure that the back thigh bone is back in line with the knee and ankle of the back leg. Arms out to the side. As you exhale, widen the back inner thigh back. Cut the front thigh bone back so the whole pelvis shifts. The abdomen stays back and the side bodies stay long as you stretch down into your triangle pose. Good. So cutting that front thigh bone towards the back thigh bone and hugging the buttock into the midline to lift the back hip up and back. The abdomen back, breathe length and space into both side bodies and sides of the neck. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulders back. And maybe shift your gaze up, have 3 breaths. Good, bringing that left hand onto the hip. You're gonna take a slight bend in the front knee, hop the back foot in. If space is limited, you might wanna slide the front foot back, reaching those fingertips way out in front of you. Keep the right big toe mound grounded. Inhale, lift the left leg. Same shape we were just in triangle pose pretty much. The front thigh bone presses back and the buttock hugs into the midline. Press out through both heels. Lift the abdomen towards the spine. Press through the palms to roll the shoulders back. 3 breaths. 1 line of energy from the heel through the crown of the head. And with an exhale, bend the knee, land warrior 2, straighten the leg, turn both feet, outer edge of both feet parallel with the outer edge of the mat. Arms out to the side. Turn that right foot in slightly, the left foot out all the way. Make sure that this back thigh bone is back in line with the knee and ankle. The groin is not pressing forward here. Lift and spread your toes, stretch them out, ground them down. With an exhale, widening that right inner thigh back as you cut the front thigh bone back. So the whole pelvis shifts. The tailbone is rooting back towards the back heel. Keep your abdomen back, so we're keeping the bones and joints stacked, the whole way down. We're not gonna like transition like this and then try to fix it. Side body's long, stretch, 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 stretch. Come into your triangle pose. Scan your body from the ground up. Noticing where things have gotten compressed, that's a sign to make an adjustment. Often this thigh bone has to go back, the front buttock into the midline of the body to create some space on that side body. As you inhale, lengthen both side bodies, both sides of the neck. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulders back. Maybe you want to gaze up, or maybe you want to just chin in line with the sternum and slide the jawbone back. 3 breaths. And then bring that right hand onto the hip. Hop the back foot in, or maybe scoot the front foot back. Keep that left big toe mound grounded as you reach the fingertips out in front of you, so that when you rise and straighten your left leg, lifting the right leg up, your wrist is under your shoulder, your side body is long. That standing thigh bone back, buttock into the midline. Be aware of this back foot floating away behind you. Hip, knee, and ankle stack. Abdomen draws back. Extending the crown of the head away from the heel, roll the shoulders back. 3 breaths. This is a great pose to practice against the wall. You will get a lot of information. With an exhale, bend the knee. Pass through warrior 2. Straighten the leg. Turn both feet to face forward. Outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. And exhale, fold deeply. So the hands can come to the floor. Maybe you can walk the hands back to ground as wide as the shoulders between the feet. Let your head hang heavy. Maybe it will come to the floor. Either way, we want the elbows over the wrists, hands as wide as the shoulders, pressing down into the palms to lift the shoulders away from the ears. Let the crown of the head hang heavy if it's not touching the floor. Have 5 deep, long breaths here. Really working on pressing down with the palms to lift the shoulders up. Bring the hands onto the hips. Draw the elbows together on the back. With an inhale, root down with the tailbone to lift the abdomen, the heart, and the crown to come to stand. Step or jump the feet together. And I just need to check on the time here. Okay, good. We'll do a standing balance pose to wind down. Let's do dancing Shiva. So shifting your weight onto your right foot. Spread your toes wide. Ground down through the 4 corners. Bend the left knee. Grab the left foot with the left hand. You can go outside or inside. I like inside. Sticking your booty out, thigh bone back. Root your tailbone down. Feel it deepen your quad stretch. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Then exhale, kick the foot into the hand. Pull the hand on the foot to open up into dancing Shiva. Shiva is considered to be the deity that resides at the crown of the head. Hugging your legs together to find that balance in the hips. Draw the right shoulder back and the left shoulder forward. Chin parallel to the earth. 3 breaths. And with an inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Shake it out a little bit if that feels good to you. One more side. Shift the weight onto your left foot. Spread your toes wide. Keep that big toe mound grounded. And maybe the most important thing I forgot to say, Find a focal point to steady your gaze that is eye level in front of you. Bend the right knee and grab the right foot or ankle with the right hand. Stick your booty out towards your heel and then root your tailbone down. Feel that quad stretch. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, kick the foot into the hand. Pull the hand on the foot to rise. Dancing Shiva. Energetically hug your legs together to bring the hips to face forward. Draw the left shoulder back and the right shoulder forward. Chin parallel to the earth. 3 breaths. And inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Good work. Back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step back. Come to downward facing dog or to child's pose, your choice. Whatever choice you make, return your awareness to your breath. Check back in now with the quality of the breath, the tension in the body, and the speed of the thoughts through the mind at this point in your practice. Hi, Catherine. And then we'll come all the way forward onto the abdomen. Interlace your hands behind your back. Hug your legs energetically towards each other. With an inhale, lift everything you can lift up off the ground. Exhale, extend out. Notice what's happening in the neck. We want one long line of energy from tailbone to crown. Lift the arms away from the back body. 3 breaths. And with an, have a little exhale, release. Turn your head to one side. Gently sway the hips from side to side. Release the low back. And then bend the knees and grab the ankles. If this is not accessible right now, you can always use a strap around the ankles or just take the same shape we just took. But if you bend the knees and grab the ankles, don't let the knees splay out any wider than the hips. Kick the feet back into the hands. Pull the hands on the feet to lift the chest. Thigh bones should stay grounded until the heels come over the knees, and then maybe they can lift straight up. 3 more deep, long breaths wherever you're working. Feeling the alignment in the neck. And with an exhale, release. Turn the head to the other side. Gently sway the hips. Finding that balance of effort and ease, of will and surrender, that enables the oneness to occur. And then we'll roll over onto our backs. Bend the knees and ground the feet in close to the buttocks. Press the back of the head and the shoulders firmly into the floor. With an inhale, lift the pelvis, the low back, the middle back. If it feels good, you can interlace the hands beneath the back or underneath you, or just roll the palms to face up to roll the shoulders under. Everything on the ground presses firmly down into the ground to lift the heart. From the heart, extend through the knees. From the heart, extend through the crown. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Releasing any clenching in the buttocks. Making sure the feet are facing forward. And with an exhale, release. Resist the urge to draw the knees into the chest just yet. Gently sway the knees from side to side if you would like. We're going to do one more back bend. And this is a basic class, so I'm going to guide you through bridge pose again. If you have a full wheel practice and you want to take a full wheel, you can always do that, remembering that this is your time with your body, right? But with the knees bent, feet facing forward, knees in close to the buttocks, press the back of the head and the shoulders into the mat. Inhale, lift the pelvis, the low back, the middle back. If it feels good, interlace the hands beneath you to roll the shoulders under. Otherwise, just turn the palms to face up. Everything on the ground is your foundation. It presses down firmly to lift the heart here. The back of the heart lifts away from the upper arms. From the heart, extend through the crown and the tailbone. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an exhale, release. Pause. Sway the knees from side to side again. And then draw the knees all the way into the chest. Good. Rock forward and back to come up to seated. And we'll actually come up to balance on the sits bones. Round the fingertips behind you, roll the shoulders back, lift the chin away from the chest, shins parallel to the earth. You are welcome to stay right here to lift your hands and or straighten your legs. We're really thinking about that extension from the tailbone through the crown. Have 5 deep, long breaths. I know when you're about to fight me. And with an exhale, release. Bring the soles of the feet together. And again, checking in, if your pelvis is tilted backwards, you've got to sit up on something. This is not the stretch, this is just straining that part of your back that is rounded, right? But when we sit up on a pillow or a blanket or a block, the pelvis can ground down and we can get that lengthened space through the whole spine. So inhale, lift the crown. And with an exhale, begin to hinge at the hips. We're not rounding the spine today. We are rooting the tailbone down, lengthening the crown away, and keeping the spine long as we fold. Find the edge of the shape for yourself. Close the eyes. Have 10 deep, long breaths. Breathe into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. Open and expand with the inhale. Soften and release with the exhale. Allow yourself to remain so present with the breath that you experience that oneness. The breath connects us to all sentient beings, past, present, and future. And with an inhale, slowly rise. Draw the knees together, ground the feet, reach past the knees and roll the spine out vertebrae by vertebrae, engaging the abdomen, pulling the belly button back towards the spine. Good. Draw the knees into the chest. Rock gently from side to side. With an exhale, drop the knees to the right. Gaze over the left shoulder for a twist. So we want to stack the hips and we want to have the knees at like a 90-degree angle from the body. We don't want them dropped down because we don't want to arch our back while we twist. You want to listen to your body. If it hurts when you twist, you want to just back off and adjust. And then as you inhale, you're breathing that length and space into the spine. And as you exhale, allowing yourself to ring out. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an inhale, return to center. Exhale, take the knees up and over to the other side. Sometimes it feels good to scoot the hips back to the right as you drop the knees to the left. Remembering that we always want to first lengthen the spine and then deepen the twist. Allow the breath to be deep and long. And the twists to wring the body out, detoxing the organs, creating space for fresh blood to flow through when you unwind. And helping to release habits and patterns that aren't serving you on all layers and levels of your being. Making space for new energy, ideas, and opportunities to come through. With an inhale, return to center. Reach through the knees to grab onto the outer edge of the feet for happy baby. The ankles stack over the knees. The tailbone roots away from the crown. Hands and feet push and pull on each other. Head and shoulders soften down. Move in any way that feels good to you within the confines of this shape. It is the final pose of our practice. When you are ready, you can relax, release, and open into Shavasana. If it's comfortable to extend the legs straight out, you can do that. If that causes any discomfort in your lower back, just keep the knees bent. Take the feet as wide as the mat and let the knees fall together. So the legs can relax and the low back is supported. Palms rest facing up at like a 30-degree angle from the body. Return your awareness to the breath and allow it to fill the whole body from the inside out like a balloon. And as you exhale completely, any residual tension, limitation, judgment, leaves the body with the breath through the fingertips. So through this practice, we clear out our energetic blocks, becoming an open conduit to channel the energy of the universe through our particular lens and prism of self to create a reality that is magical, beautiful, and just. Take this moment to savor any experience of losing yourself in the practice that you were able to cultivate today. And begin to intentionally deepen your inhales. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Gently sway the head from side to side. With an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Give yourself a big stretch from fingertips to tippy toes. Exhale here. Inhale, draw the knees into the chest. And exhale, roll to the right side body. Pause for a moment in this fetal position, gathering your bearings as you transition from the meditative rest of Shavasana back into everyday life. When you're ready, press down with the palms to lift up. And come to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment. And check back in with the quality of your breath, the tension in your body, and the speed of the thoughts through the mind in this moment. Observe the effects of the practice. And then bring the awareness back and anchor it fully on your breath. We will seal our collective efforts with a single Om. Allowing the low body to be heavy, the tailbone to root down through the floor, connecting you to the earth. And as you inhale, lift through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. Roll the shoulders together down and into the back body. Slide the jawbone back. Stack the vertebrae. Align this internal antenna within us that connects us to projecting and receiving with all things. Inhale deeply to prepare for the sound of Om. Bring the hands to the heart and bow the head in gratitude. for the tools of this practice that expands out and ripples effects off the mat, making every moment of our lives an observation, a practice, a striving to merge with the energy of the universe and truly be joyful and present. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Cat Boo, for the assists.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you. Nice to see your faces.
So good seeing your face.
Have a great rest of your day. I don't know how to work
Thanks.
this. There we go.
Y'all too.
Bye.
Bye.
How are you, Ma? Oh, she left.
Oh, so sweet. That was your mom?
Yeah, she's been coming to all the basic classes.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
It's super sweet.